plane of Elderaine has been quoted as a world inspired by Arthurian legend and European fairy tales, with a world full of Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, and even Cinderella. There was only time that we got a wicked witch. An evil witch who wants to be the fairest of the land. Eriette is the evil queen of Elderaine, wearing a black gown with a glass Medici collar that reflects an almost aged witch, suggesting a spell to mask her appearance. Just like King Arthur and Camelot, the story of Eriette is vital to the story of Elderaine, and her rise and fall shaped the way for magic's future. Eriette and her two sisters, Agatha and Hilda, helped the fairy Talion cast the wicked slumber, ending the Phyrexian invasion of Elderaine. Talion gifts the three sisters legendary artifacts: Agatha, her soul cauldron; Hilda, the crown of winter; and Eriette, the charmed apple, which grants her the love of anyone who takes a bite. Eriette, with her newfound power, decided against reversing the spell, instead extending the curse across the entire plane's living inhabitants, putting them into a swamp of sleep, including Talion's child Obra, hoping to make the plane her own. Ashiok and Eriette decide to take the realm by force. Ashiok took advantage of the nightmares of the realm to use against them, as Eriette reanimated the sleeping forms of knights to take over Ardenval, left in ruins after the invasion. Ardenval, a desolate shrine of its once former glory, is overwhelmed by the fetid smell of the corpses of the fallen. Waiting on her throne, the basilica empty, as the echoes of nightmarish noises throughout the castle is heard. She sits pondering with her apple, staring at the plains of Elderaine through the windows. A story for the ages, and it wasn't that long ago where a deep sleep plagues the kingdom. Eriette finds herself sitting on the throne of Castle Ardenval, above the rest, now at the helm of the gods. Holding her apple in her hand like a pristine talisman, and silence fills the empty, abandoned castle that was once filled with kings and queens, but now lays barren. It used to be the heart of Elderaine, where the king's men once stood in a commanding sphere. They called it home. Now, just a thought vessel for Eriette to sit and ponder. Like a well of lost dreams, Ardenval sits, waiting to command an army. Eriette finally has everything she always wanted. The swift sounds of boots coming from down the hall as Rowan arrives. "Rowan, I've taken this castle. You can't break the curse, but I can give you what you want. The power to light your spark again, like the spark you once had." And just like a basilisk collar around Rowan's neck, tugging, Rowan accepts Eriette's proposal. She needs help. Although her soul rings out for help, no words come out of her mouth. Looking at Eriette, pondering her arcane signet, was this the end? Is this the end goal? Was the key to breaking the curse plaguing Elderaine here at all? The house of Orzhov smiling at Eriette, this was her signet of wealth and power. The spellbook vendor recounts the time when Elderaine was affected by the curse. He recalls the curse like the slumbering sounds of Lurus in the dream den. The castle lies in wait for months as Rowan becomes a cryptghast. Eriette, the gaffer of Ardenvale. As the rest of Elderaine sleeps, Eriette, the console of her own allocation, thinks about the others that she has affected, like the Princess Neva, stalked by her own nightmares. Eriette lets out a smile. A regal bunnycorn is seen in the distance as she stares out the window, wondering if there is more that she could take for herself. Her handy helper Rowan becomes a cog in the machine, more subservient than ever. Eriette, a transcendent envoy for Ashiok, although feeling more like an Umbra. Her mystique power was everything, but now feeling like a shadow of what she was before. Her powers aren't strong enough to keep the curse going forever. Something must budge. Like a resplendent angel, Callan, Ruby, and Will become the syndicate that Elderaine needs. They arrive on top of the mesa, enchanted by the beauty of what Ardenvale once was. Like a titan of the sun that hasn't been seen for years, they tip the scales of Seraph. Ardenvale must fall again for the sake of Elderaine. Ashiok, being a sentinel of Esper, stops the three from taking back over Ardenvale, but their vitality fleeting, like a fallen angel. The duel must go on, with blood falling like ink. Eriette and Rowan flee to the treasury. Enthralled by the spirits dancing around them, the nightmares used by Ashiok slowly start to fade. They pray with letters and blood of their fallen paragon, in a blitz of fate like the wings of Ashiok who has fallen. Eriette is captured. Rowan flees into the wilds. The curse is lifted. The overwhelming splendor as Elderaine, now whole again, can go back to its once former glory, although Ardenvale now sits as a sigil of an empty throne. Will must take the reins. A new day starts. Day breaks through the shrubbery of Ardenvale. The songbirds sing, giving it a new blessing. Although they weren't around during the Phyrexian invasion that turned Elderaine into an arena, Will, Ruby, and Callan show off the indestructibility of Elderaine. They lifted the ghoulish parasitic curse in which petrified all of Elderaine. A vow, Will announces, that no more torment should hit Ardenvale, or they shall face karmic justice. A sanguine bond has formed anew as the three heroes can finally rest in revere. Eriette, now captured, recounts an unholy indenture with Ashiok. Oh, what a timely ward! But your mantle will not be ancient, and my time has come. Like a stab wound that doesn't heal, your dark steel has mutated, Ashiok. Now, Bloodchief, ascend as the necropotence you once were. Be my boon, and help me escape. Ashiok rises from the shadows. Their newfound self is all that glitters, as their ethereal form is the armor for Eriette to escape. Eriette's destiny was angelic, but swift. The opportunity to rebuild faster and stronger, retether your bonds, reanimate the lost, and realize you have unfinished business. And if all else fails, you will fall to the winds of wrath and bid farewell to everything you have lost. Was this the bitter triumph against the evils of Elderaine? But the afterlife always has insurance, he explains. Elderaine was in need of dire tactics to become whole again. Although Eriette's mischief and hatred caused her to take what was once a generous gift from Talion to save the plane into a curse, it was never going to be forever. The stroke of midnight chimes as this chapter closes.